Welcome to DWeb Decoded. I'm Danielle Dubervac of Filecoin Foundation, and I'm thrilled to be joined here today with Lei Lei. She is Vice President and Head of Business Development and Strategy for Kite AI, an AI Layer 1. So I'm excited to talk with you today.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. It's been a pleasure working with Filecoin, and yeah, very excited to be invited to the DWeb podcast.
Wonderful. Well, let's take a moment to level set. And from your perspective, what are the core challenges with centralized AI today, whether it be business or technical or ethical, and how is that informing Kite AI's mission?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's obviously huge companies in the Web 2 AI space, especially most of them are out of Silicon Valley. That have captured a lot of attention as well as a lot of capital, and from the OpenAIs of the world to Anthropic, but it's been a lot of not a ton of clarity on how they're building these large language models, what data goes into it, as well as a lot of controversy that they're taking people's data without full, disclosure or full permission in building a lot of these models. So I think that's why a decentralized AI ecosystem is really important. And what the blockchain brings is a lot of transparency because you can track what is going on chain. You can have smart contracts which provide programmable logic, and you can also look at the full attribution on chain as well. So for example, when you build different AI agents or models, the data that is going into the inputs of these can be traced on chain, and you can see what are kind of the building blocks going into some of these key agents.
That's right. And how is Kite AI thinking about this within your L1?
Yeah, so we're focused on a marketplace of data providers, model builders, AI agents, as well as a lot of core infrastructure that needs to go into the space, including Filecoin on the data storage side, GPUs and other partners that we're working with. So we're focused on a marketplace where the different business partner, project partners can essentially search for the different components. You can think of it as like components in a Lego block that it might need. So for example, if I'm a AI model builder looking to build cancer detection models, I may need to look for frontier healthcare data and images. And actually it's if you talk to a lot of the research labs, they have a lot of shortages in terms of finding this data. So this is a marketplace where you can source a lot of different components that you might need. And so that's also why I think working with Filecoin is really important, because having the decentralized data storage is key in terms of working with a very compliant partner that is able to provide the base infra for a lot of the initial data that needs to go into a lot of the processes later on.
That's a great segue to our Filecoin and Kite AI's work together. Kite AI is integrated with Filecoin and using IPFS as part of its provenance layer. You touched on it a little bit, but talk about how decentralized storage helps you to keep that decentralized infrastructure.
Yeah, absolutely. So Filecoin works with, I think, 3,000 different storage partners. And Filecoin has been a great partner in many different ways, even from the marketing side and in terms of hosting worldwide events together. And that's been a really great partnership to date. But on the technical side, working with IPFS and Filecoin, just really as the core decentralized data storage and providing a lot of that provenance on chain so that we can trace the usage of this data by different AI builders.
And so obviously Filecoin is one piece of that. I know you guys have built with a modular sort of interoperability in mind. What other pieces are you working with, and how are you building that in?
Yeah, that's a great question. So essentially, we are launching, you can think of it as like 3 different parts to the AI layer 1. So first, there's the core infrastructure and blockchain that the settlement goes on to. But essentially, we're building an incentivized Hugging Face or a marketplace of different models and data. And then a better partner ecosystem where they can go and interact with each other. So another famous ecosystem is Bittensor, who's done a really great job. But if you go and look at their different subnets, it's hard for each of the subnets to interact with each other, and they have a lot of their GitHub repos on there. So this goes an extra step where you can really search for the different assets that you need. And then the final part is because it's a blockchain world, people are looking for liquidity. And so we are adding a DeFi layer on top. And what that means is we will be launching our own token later this year. And a lot of the partners may have their own token as well. And so we're building basically a lot of the native blockchain infrastructure for staking, different pairs of tokens. It's all a way for individual retail or consumers who are really interested in expressing a view on the different partners to be able to also capture some of that upside by, for example, staking or delegating their tokens to different subnet partners.
Okay. And when you say like an incentivized Hugging Face, and how are you looking at data, the value of data? Is it from a more objective set of standards, or is it more subjective? And how are you thinking about that and the incentivization of quality data contributions?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, data, I think there's always a supply of data, and the question is who needs to use that data to build the different, agents that they may need. So, for example, a lot of the common data partners we've been working with are either ones that are providing a lot of science-related data, because this is a big area where scientists and research labs, and a lot of them are a lot of the core AI engineers are often fairly technical and come from a lot of the academic background. So they're looking for a lot of scientific data. So healthcare is a very big area that they're looking to work with. We've also been working with some big enterprise partners that have access to a ton of renewable energy data. So for example, wind farms or solar farms, and they have a lot of providers that are have this data but are looking for to basically see how can who's actually has demand for this data and how can it be leveraged. And they can bring all of these data can be brought on chain and create a lot of transaction volume as well. The other type of data that's very common is in the blockchain space. One of the most common AI agents are more the DeFi trading agents. And so in order to have a lot of the trading agents work, you basically need access to real-time on-chain data through price data from the places like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, or from the different ecosystems, DEXs and other areas as well.
Is that how Kite AI is using AI agents, or tell me more about the strategy there?
Yeah. So we started. So we did launch testnet. Let's see, it's May. So about 3 months ago, we launched testnet and started with just building 3 of our own AI agents, and they're pretty, just your first vanilla agents. But we built 3. One is called Sherlock, and as its name, it's a detective, or it's a fraud detection agent, which basically, if you put in your transaction hash, it tells you if it is likely to be fraud or not. And it's based on looking at a lot of previous data and history and making predictions based on transactions. So that's one agent. We have Crypto Buddy, which is more of a just, you go and ask for basic things like give me the price of Filecoin, for example, and it returns you that real-time information. So it definitely needs access to a lot of real-time on-chain price data. And the third one that we built is called Professor, which basically is almost like a AI co-pilot that just answers questions. And right now it's answering questions related to Kite AI based on what's on our website or in our tech docs. But that's just the beginning. The next phases for kind of the next upgrade of testnet and into mainnet, we really want to feature our ecosystem AI agents that people are building. So definitely more to come, but a few of our ecosystem partners have deep fake detection models. Others have trading agents. Others have focus on gaming. So a lot more to come there.
Great. So while I have you as head of business development and strategy, and I know you launched testnet a few months ago and saw a lot of success there. From your vantage, who are those end users that you're seeing traction with, and have there been any surprises since going to market over the last year?
Yes. So there's 3 types of stakeholders or users that we're targeting. The first are it's more B2B. We're looking for partners who are mostly other projects that, have built these specific AI assets. And then the second are individual developers, which we've gotten a lot of traction from developers who want to build on Kite AI and are asking us, what kinds of tooling or what specific projects do you want or applications do you want us to build? But the fastest traction we've seen is actually from the retail community, and those are the ones that have come in and interacted with the AI agents that we've built. Because you don't need any coding experience, and you can just come in and write prompts and interact with agents. And also our team spend a lot of time kind of community building, especially in starting in Asia, because we have a pretty large presence and a lot of your core blockchain users are there as well.
And you're still building out the infrastructure piece a little bit, but also seeing demand. What are the other ways you're seeing that demand? Is it the number of testnet or the what metrics are you looking at and seeing that demand?
Yeah, great question. So since testnet launch, we actually have 4 million wallets, and from those people who sign up with wallets, 3 million interacted with the agents. Others played around and may not have spent that much time with agents. And from an AI call or inference call perspective, which is just the number of times that people interacted with the agents, we actually saw a huge stat of 800 million AI inference calls. So I think it just shows the enthusiasm for the AI sector, and then people are very curious about, especially when you make it very easy for the normal user who doesn't have coding experience to come in and play around in AI. And then in terms of other traction, we are definitely, the next steps are really focusing on the developer community and seeing how they can deploy more. And so we haven't really heavily marketed, in our tech docs we've kind of finished a first step, but working on other steps. But we've seen a lot of people, with no interaction with the BD team have just started deploying, which is really another great sign.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about messages you're using that are resonating, and it sounds like that interaction with the AI agent piece has really worked, and do you think it's the simplification of the process, or what do you attribute it to?
Yeah, I actually think we just have a great growth marketing team, and we've made ourselves very accessible to the community. From the the people who go to conferences and events. I think our whole team has a certain personality where we're approachable, but also we spent a lot of time with kind of our marketing messages and making it fun as well. And we've come up with, for example, a Kite AI intern with a mascot, which is called Pokey, and it's basically just a cute, lovable, kind of plush animal. So yeah, I think a lot of it is that, and we've seen the community start building their own kind of like memes online and all of that, which all shows a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah, that sort of organic flywheel of content too. Okay, so to wrap up, I just wanted to get your sort of vision for the next 5 to 10 years. Where do you see both kind of Kite AI, but also like decentralized AI and how users are interacting with it? What does that future look like for you?
Yeah, so I think AI agents have been hot for a while and really started more in the Web3 space, probably like last year. But now we've really seen that the Web2 AI space and your core Bay Area companies are all talking about AI agents, from like payments companies to many others. So there's a lot of growth on regular enterprises figuring out, how do I embed AI agents into my normal business? So I think there's a lot of work on, for example, consumers, your intent agents. So basically those that are coming out and trying to figure out your intent, like what do you want to do, especially like on your mobile phone, for example. What do I want to do? And then there's a lot of service agents that people are building that are providing services. So for example, if I say I want to order an Uber, basically an agent could do it for me and go through that whole payment process as well, which is another reason blockchain and stablecoins are very important, because in the regular fiat system, agents can't interact, can't access credit cards or bank account information, but transacting through stablecoin is much easier. So I think you'll see a world where there's a lot more human to agent interact, like humans using agents to increase your productivity and do like different tasks for you. But also a world where more agents might be interacting with each other. So like your intent agents interacting with the service agents that are being provided from service providers.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. This is super interesting, and thank you for joining us on DWeb Decoded, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds great. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.